guys, John Rettinger here with the review for you of the 5th generation iPod Nano. I've had this device since the day it came out, and I've been sitting on a review until I had a chance to really get to use it and really get to know it, so I could hopefully provide you with the most accurate information. In previous videos, I've discussed the video recording capabilities, the video effects capabilities, and really the highlights of the iPod Nano. But let's get to the review. But before, let's just review the specs very quickly. It comes in 8GB or 16GB flavors, really the same size. The 8GB is going to run you $149. The 16GB is going to run you $179. It's got a 2.2-inch diagonal display, which actually really does look quite nice and is noticeably larger than the last generation. It does record video. On the back, there's a little video camera. It'll record at H.264 VGA resolution, which means it comes in at 640 by 480, so not HD, and up to 30 frames per second. It also has 15 real-time effects. So that's all technical stuff. What does that mean? Well, it does not record in HD, but it does record video at a very high quality. If you want to see a comparison of video versus, say, the Flip Minnow HD, I'll put a link to that in the sidebar, and maybe somewhere around here you can click and see the comparison head-to-head. The Nano really did stack up quite nicely against an HD camera. Certainly it's not HD, but the video and especially the audio quality that came out of it were really very impressive. So the Nano is obviously a MP3 player first. So how does it do with its MP3 playing abilities? Well, it's an iPod, so quite obviously it's fantastic. It's got an accelerometer built in, which is quite nice. So when you're scanning for music or looking around, you can just turn it and you can go through and scroll through everything that you have landscape-wise, which is quite nice. And it's more of another visual representation for how to use the device. One other thing that this has is a built-in speaker, which is quite loud. So like the iPhone or the iPod Touch, when you want to listen to music without headphones, you can now do that right on the Nano. The speakers are quite loud and certainly more than ample for listening to music. It also has a built-in pedometer, which works quite nicely. It's got voice control, so you can tell it to really do what you want, sort of as you would almost with an iPod Shuffle, the new generation iPod Shuffle at least. It does really just work as advertised. It's got the shake to shuffle functionality, and it's quite small and pocketable. Now, one of the questions that I get quite a bit is, why would I get a Nano? I already have an iPhone or an iPod Touch. And I thought about that for quite a bit, and I think Apple really hit the nail on the head with the iPod Nano, and here's why. People are going app crazy nowadays, downloading tons and tons and tons of applications on their phones. Personally, I've got 6 pages of applications on my iPhone, and those take up space. Also, now being able to record video, I find myself recording a lot of things that ordinarily I wouldn't, and that takes up space as well. So whether you've got a 60GB iPhone or a 32GB iPhone, space may be at a premium, and you may want something that just holds your music, so you can free up that space for video, TV shows, movies, applications, whatever else you might have. I think that's where the Nano really comes in. This thing is so small, you can just drop it in your pocket and have no idea that it's there and get completely lost. Or if you've got an iPod Touch and you wish you had video recording capabilities, you're out with some friends and you want to record someone doing a skateboard trick or whatever it is you're doing, you can now just bust out your Nano, take a quick video, throw it in your pocket, upload it when you get home, and see your friend fall on his face. So I think the Nano really does have a very big niche. I think it services a lot more people by having the video recording functionality. I would never have considered a Nano really without the video recording functionality, and I think surprisingly it works quite nicely. One big negative about the Nano, though, is the placement of the camera lens. Any way you hold it while recording, your finger seems to always be right close to on top of it. Really, no matter what you're doing, you have to be very careful about how you're holding it to make sure your finger does not go and hit the device. Just something to keep in mind, certainly not a deal breaker. So who do I recommend the iPod Nano to? That's another question that I get quite a bit. Well, if portability is important to you, if you're a gym rat and you always want something that you can take to the gym, but a screen is something that you need to have, the iPod Nano is a fantastic way to go. If you're a runner and you can just strap the thing onto your arm, clip it onto your belt, throw it in your pocket, the Nano is absolutely fantastic, and the pedometer feature really only adds to that. If you want something separate to hold your music, if your iPhone is filled up or your old iPod Touch is filled up. If you want a speaker to listen to music, it's a great way to go. It also has a voice dictation functionality, so if you're a college student and you want to record your professor taking notes, this is now a perfect device to do everything. You know, Apple hasn't been one to really release standalone devices. All their devices, at least in recent time, do quite a lot. The iPhone, it's a phone, it's an internet tablet, it's an iPod. And, that tradition really keeps true with the iPod Nano. It's not just an MP3 player, it's now a video recorder, it's now an audio recorder, it's now an external microphone, external speaker, it's a speedometer. It does so many things that it really is a jack of all trades, and it does them all well. So I can 100% recommend the iPod Nano. I think it's a great buy at $149 or $179 respectively, depending on what sizes you want. Comes in a ton of different colors, and I think that if you're in the market for an MP3 player, the Nano is a fantastic way to go. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. For exclusive content, check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/John4Lakers. And to learn more about Techno Buffalo, technobuffalo.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.